Good morning, everybody. Today is day 478 and 479. We're only going to have a recording for day 478. So let's go ahead and get started. It is chilly in this RV garage, you guys. Oh my gosh, but that's okay. I know I'm going to warm up. So let's get ourselves up to our incline and up to the speed. I think I'm going to try speed 2.3 today. Oh, and I forgot to mention today, or I should say right now, it is 10:37 a.m. But yesterday, so what I was trying to say is that is the speed I left off with on the second walk. So I'm going to attempt to see if my treadmill will go up to that speed for today. Okay, so we're only at incline 10. Let's get up to 15 first. And that should be it. Yeah, that's at 15. And I'm really concerned that if I keep walking on my treadmill for 80 minutes a day, that at some point, I don't know if it's going to keep working. So I guess I'll have to see and then just go from there. For now, we're okay. But I did think about that, the wear and tear on it, even though I haven't walked on it in a long time. So I am hoping that it holds up for at least the next 90 days. Of course, thereafter, I know that I'm going to have to keep doing some form of exercise, and this is just the easiest thing to do. So let's see, I'm trying to adjust my right shoe. For some reason it feels awkward. I think my sock's crooked or something, I don't know. Okay, we're at 1.5, so we're almost there. $1.9. 2.1. 2.3. Okay, so first off, I'm going to start off by saying that I am happy because my husband has already noticed that I am slimming down, and he noticed after I had only walked for 2 days. Okay, so I am excited about that. I have not weighed myself yet. I don't think that enough time has passed. I was thinking about waiting at least a week before I weighed myself again, and I think I have another 3 or 4 days before it will be time to do that. But I have noticed myself, but I didn't say anything, wondering if he was noticing as well, and he did. Okay, so I'm really happy about that. Even if I haven't lost any weight, I like the fact that I am slimming down. And if you're wondering, I was debating on if I was going to mention this, but if you watched yesterday's video, or if you didn't, then you don't know that for the whole walk, I just couldn't seem to catch my breath, and I said something was off, and I was right. So we received some news when I went back in after my second walk, and it wasn't good, but I mean, my heart just goes out to everyone that it's affecting. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. So I actually Hate to say it, but I was right. Okay, so if you don't know much about me, if you haven't really watched my channel, I'm pretty in tune with just, I don't even know how to put it. I don't even know how to put it. I'm in tune, we'll say that, and you can give it whatever meaning you want, spiritually, whatever. And I think I was telling you guys before, it's not something that I like. It's not something that I do on purpose. It just happens. Also, I'll know when someone's pregnant. I'll know about how far along they are. Every now and then I might know exactly who it is, but that's not something I like either, because I go through the sympathy, I'm trying to get it out, sympathy symptoms, and that is not fun. It's almost as if I'm pregnant, so, which I'm not, and I haven't had those type of symptoms in a while, but I can't remember the name of it. It has an awkward name, but yes. So it just, I would have to say the word I would use is worse. It gets worse over the years, and the amount of people, it has grown. It has expanded past my family. So yeah, not a happy time. Just overall, because when I say I get sick, I mean sick. Like to where I can't eat or stand the sight or the thought of food. A couple people, I get headaches. So yeah. And I almost saw the name. I did, and I just forgot it again, but that's not the topic for today. But that's me. I'm a little unique, but I would have to say we all are in some way, right? Okay, so let's do a time check. Let's see. My book is too far over. 7 minutes, 5 seconds. All right, so last night we watched Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Now, I know it released in May on the 23rd, so I'm late. But we decided not to go see it in the theater. As a matter of fact, with everything else going on, we started back traveling a lot. We just simply kind of didn't have the time. And I don't think we really thought about going to see it in the movie theaters, now that I think about it. I do know we wanted to see it on TV, and they wanted $30. I know that's bad, but just like yesterday, that was my first time having water, so I'm gonna see if it helps a little bit. So anyway, we watched it last night. It was finally offered for free. I don't know if it was Amazon Prime. I don't even know what we watched it on, because when I came into the bedroom, my husband was already playing it, and he told me that's what it was when it was going through the beginning part. I guess the beginning credits or something like that. And I said, oh, Mission Impossible. I saw Tom Cruise, and he was like, yep, remember when they wanted us to pay for it? It's free. So I was like, oh, super cool, because I love the series. Okay, so I didn't put down who the director is, which I usually do, but let's go over the actors. So of course, we'll start with Tom Cruise. He plays Ethan Hunt, who is now considered a rogue agent for IMF. And then I saw what IMF stood for, and I forgot to put it. The next person is, of course, the beautiful Angela Bassett. She plays Erica, I don't know how to say that, Sloan? That's my best guess. She's the U.S. President. Haley Atwell plays Grace. She is a skilled pickpocketer and a new IMF agent. Ving Rhames, he plays Luther Stickle. He is highly intelligent for the technical world. He's very tech savvy. And he's a first class computer hacker and a loyal IMF agent. Simon Pegg plays Benji Dunn. He's a tech expert who became a skilled field operator. Henry, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna totally mess up your last name. Sesame? I don't even know if the C is pronounced. He plays Eugene Kittredge, and he was an IMF director who came back after being away for 27 years as a high-level government figure. First name's gonna mess me up. Esai. I don't know how to say that. Esai. Morales plays Gabriel, and he is a ruthless assassin and a liaison for the entity. Dun dun dun. Yes, the entity is a rogue AI. Greg Davis plays Theo Degas. He is an agent and Jasper Briggs' partner, who is played by, okay, usually that would be pronounced Shia, but I'm thinking Shay. Probably also I think there's another way to pronounce that word. Wiggum, who is a CIA/community agent. And then she's such a wonderful actress, and her whole name, I'm gonna mess up. I'm just letting you guys know now. I'd rather spell it than try to pronounce it. I have to take a couple sips because her last name has so many letters. Oh my gosh. Okay, my best guess, best attempt at her name is Pune Hajimo Hamadi. And if there were supposed to be some spaces in her last name, online there wasn't. So maybe I might find out later that there was a space somewhere in there. Still, it would have been difficult to say. And she plays Paris. She is Gabriel's former lieutenant. Okay, we're at 13 minutes, 37 seconds. All right, so the plot of the movie. And I'm really, really hoping this paper stays up here because I thought it would be easier to type it. So, the plot of the story is this. 2 months after retrieving the key to the source code for the hostile AI known as the entity, rogue IMF agent Ethan Hunt receives a message from U.S. President Erica Sloan. She informs Ethan that the entity continues to seize control of global nuclear systems, aided by undercover doomsday sects. And I'm saying sect, S-E-C-T, okay, a group of people. Ethan is ordered to surrender the key, but he refuses and continues pursuing Gabriel. And just to catch you guys up, if you don't know, Gabriel unalived, because I know we can't say that word on YouTube, I don't even want to say, well, online said a love interest, but I don't remember enough of the series to know if they were ever involved with each other. But I think her name was Marie. So, aside from other things, that's one of the, I guess you can say, reasons why Gabriel and Ethan, I don't even want to say don't get along. That's an understatement. Okay? Rivals, I guess. And then I think I mentioned that Gabriel, let me go back here. For some reason I feel like I skipped his name. No, I didn't. So remember, he's an assassin. Okay, so Ethan continues to pursue Gabriel. The entity's former liaison, who was forsaken after failing to steal the key himself. Now, the one thing I didn't put on here is that Gabriel doesn't want to destroy the entity. Okay, Gabriel thinks that the entity can be controlled. Okay, so, well, by him. And he has this, just, I don't know, crazy, arrogant thought that he will also control the world as well, if he could control the entity. And I mean, AI continues to learn, right? So my thought on that is, like I said, Gabriel was cray-cray. Because if he heard what the entity said to Ethan, I don't know. You would have to be more than arrogant. I don't know what words to use. Overly confident, just highly irrational, to think that you could control this AI. And I don't remember his interactions. As a matter of fact, I don't think I saw Mission Impossible 3. I know you're supposed to watch them in order. But yeah, Gabriel tripping. Okay, so anyway, Ethan and fellow IMF agent Benji Dunn I'm looking at that spelling. I'm going to go with Benji. First, they visit their sick friend, Luther Stickle, the IMF hacker, at his off-grid lab beneath London, where he has finished developing the, and I don't think I can say this word on YouTube either, so I'll spell it, P-O-I-S-O-N. Pill malware that can target the entity. Now, the crazy thing about it is that the entity, the intelligence of this AI has grown so much. They only have seconds to be able to have everything timed out right for the malware to work. Okay, so yeah, and I'm a little tongue-tied up here. I'm trying to slow down and read this because I talk really fast. So I think by the time I'm saying something, I feel like I'm almost a sentence ahead of what I want to say. So yes, I'm trying to slow down and read this to you guys. Okay, so, and as you know, the winter is not a good time for me to be up here, which is another reason why I do not go outside a lot. But anyway, the entity's goal, okay, the ultimate goal, you probably guessed it, is to take control of all of the nuclear weapons in the world, to completely wipe out the human race. Ethan recruits Grace, Jasper Briggs' partner, Theo Degas, and Gabriel's former Lieutenant Harris in a valiant effort to save humanity. Okay, so usually I think I used to talk about what would I change in the movie, and I would have to say nothing. I agree that, and this is just my opinion, and the opinion of someone else, that this Mission Impossible number 4 is better than number 1. I mean, the efforts they had to make, everything they all went through, especially Ethan, I don't know. You have to watch it. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of just, oh wow, I wouldn't do that. Like, excuse me, I don't know if I could just run and jump off a plane into the ocean, the sea, wherever Ethan was, without knowing if help was going to come. Because throughout the movie, he and the team had to go to different people. Okay, they had to, I won't say, well, yes, convince the president, right? The military that was there with her, and other people that were living a peaceful life and had kind of gotten away from their government work, to all pull together to pull this off. And the main thing was timing. Timing was everything in this movie. And I was just sitting there just in awe of everything he did. There's a submarine involved, more than one. There's just a whole bunch that you have to watch it, okay? I don't want to give it away. But the question, of course, is, do they stop the entity? It was crazy, the things that the entity knew. I mean, Ethan was in like a capsule or I don't know how to explain, a chamber, kind of, when the entity told him he was going to show him things. And let me tell you, I can't remember how that chamber got open, or whatever you would call that machine or device he was inside of, but he was shaking when he came out. And everyone that was there with him was just like, Ethan, what? What happened? And so I can't remember if they knew that the entity was going to tell him things, which was the purpose of him going in the first place. Even just being enclosed in that, I mean, the lack of space he had, it wasn't like an MRI machine. I'm finding those. But that, I don't think I could have let anyone close me in something like that and not panic. Okay, so like I said, great movie. I will watch it again. Like today. Today I'm willing to watch the whole thing over. Just to see what did I miss. Because I know every now and then I have a tendency to get distracted with my phone or something. And I have a routine during the day that calls for me to look at the times throughout the day. So I think I got just a little bit distracted. But for the most part, I watched the whole thing. And I wondered oh my gosh, okay. So maybe for the next video, what I'll do is, I was curious how much is green screen and how much of it is actual stunts and how much of the stunts do the actors perform, especially Tom Cruise. I've seen briefly here and there a taping of some of the other movies he's been in. I think maybe the first or second Mission Impossible, but I didn't watch the whole thing. So I am curious to know, for whatever is not green screen, whatever are the real stunts in the different locations, how much of it does he do himself? And I'm going to tell you, even as a stunt double, I'd say no. So let's do a time check. We're 26 minutes, 37 seconds. I don't know if I would have done an alternate ending, because so far as I know, and I could be wrong, there aren't going to be any more Mission Impossibles, which I think is why the word final was in the title. But you never know. They definitely have room to grow. There are so many things that they can do. I think that they could end up being like the Fast and Furious series or Final Destination, and just have like 8 or 9 other movies. Even the Oceans, right? The Ocean's 11 movies. So they could go further. They really could. It would be interesting to see who would come back and how long would they come back, like how many movies would they come back for, which I think are called sequels. They definitely would have to keep Tom coming back. It would be really strange to have no Ethan. And then if they were to introduce new characters, they could do that as well. But they had enough going on in this one and enough of the different actors to continue on. I would say maybe for another 2 or 3 before they would even have to introduce anyone new. Because throughout the movie, there were other people besides Gabriel that thought, what if we had control of the entity? And a couple of people that realized that that just wouldn't be possible started off thinking the latter and came to the realization that the entity was about to create a reality that they didn't want to be in, and ultimately no one would be in. And to be honest with you, why it took so much convincing, I don't know. And then I would have to say that even though some of them had good intentions, I think, you know the saying that you have to really think about and take into consideration is, with great power comes great responsibility. So whoever it would be, one person or a group, would they be able to trust themselves and not let the fact that they had that much power in their hands go to their head? Because, and see, that's the thing, if anyone that's a part of the movie or part of the writing, if they watch this, and who knows, this might maybe be a possible idea for the movie already, but let's change the scenario a little bit. Let's say, what if the entity on its own was convinced that what it wanted to do was wrong, and it decided on its own that one person or a group of people could share control, and the whole purpose would be so that someone that did not have good intentions would not get a hold of the codes and just different things that the entity was starting to take over. And what if that other party came and now it was the entity, the good group, against the bad guys? So that would be a possibility. Because the thought behind it, I think, would be, besides the fact that that's just flat out wrong, is, would that really get rid of the human race completely? Just the fact that there's a possibility some people might survive, maybe this AI will realize it was pointless, not just wrong, right? It wants to exist, so it should think about the fact that so does everyone else. And is coexistence really such a bad thing? So there are so many ways that they could go with this movie. I would have to say the coexistence is here now. So I thought about that. Would that even be possible? Even if only 2 or 3 people survive, that was not the goal of the entity. So maybe we'll realize that that was impossible. Everyone just gone. But and then what would it do? Of course, they could go, hopefully they wouldn't, in the direction it succeeds. What does it do afterwards? Does it end up destroying itself by accident? Or maybe it feels bad and does it on purpose? Or is there a whole new set of AIs? And then the AIs are added, right? So, I don't know, maybe there would be an uprising of the good AIs against the entity and its followers. So, I would have to say, Mission Impossible, they may be done with it, but they could come back if they wanted to. It'd be interesting to see what they decide to do. So we're at 34 minutes and 24 seconds. And I am right now just trying to mentally prepare myself for my second walk. We have a TV that I can watch, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to watch or do I just want to walk in silence because I spent 40 minutes talking. But very, very interesting movie. And obviously, it's, well, right around the time of kind of semi what could possibly happen right now, right? I was trying to stay away from saying that, but it is the truth. And it's scary. So I would have to say, we'll have to see where things go. I mean, if anyone knows me, they know I love just futuristic type technology. Having a hovering car, I think would be kind of cool. Kind of difficult, I think, for gas, and I wouldn't want it to be all electric. So my thought process would be, what would I do no matter which kind I had? But that's a lot of electricity, so if it was all electrical, I don't think I would do it. I think it would have to be hybrid, just simply because our electric bill will be through the roof. So I don't know, you never know with technology what's going to happen. But I'm going to just, well, no, that'd be awkward. I would say just enjoy the rest of the walk. Kind of stay quiet, just give us a quiet moment. But we're only at 1 hour, 37 minutes. So the only reason why I keep talking on my walks is because I realize that if I were to walk for about 5 minutes and say absolutely nothing, then even though some people might be like, thank you, even those people might realize that that is a bit awkward. She could have just stopped her video. But the problem is the walk's for 40 minutes. Let's see. Oh, okay, so the topic next, I'm going to push that closer to Christmas, and I'm going to have to sit down and write it the night before if I walk on Christmas. We do have plans, and I know I could just get cleaned up, take as long as I need to, but I really don't want to have to do that. So I'm debating on not the topic. I know what the topic would be, but if I would do it the day before, ooh, and see, this thing skipped. So there's a possibility it might not work on my second walk. It might stop. Okay, we're at 30 minutes, 45 seconds, and as soon as we get to 40, I am going to stop it. And I don't even know how to check it. The only way I would know is if I take a break, go top off my water bottle, come back, and just start walking again and see what happens. But as much oil that we put the last time, months and months and months and months ago, it shouldn't need it. And then also, I've actually oiled it before, and then it's stopped, like right after I started walking on it. And it wasn't the last time It was a time before that. So I thought the whole point of oiling it was so that it would keep going, and it did the exact opposite. So yeah, like I said, this thing does what it wants. Okay. 2, 1, 40 minutes. All right, you guys, this will not be a long goodbye today. I'm gonna watch my step while this is going down. And I'm gonna say, have a great day, stay safe, and I hope your workout's going well. Bye.